Hey everybody, so I wanted to make this video about how to get paid up front for your agency. There's a lot of times where it actually makes a lot more sense to try to accept money up front from your clients than to have them pay you over installments. And this is something that I waited a little bit too long to do with my agency, so I thought this could help you out. So the reason you ask for money up front is basically to beat the clock. So if you think about business as essentially making investments that take a long time to mature, the reason why you'd want to ask for money up front is whenever there's a situation or a service that you offer where if they pay sooner, they can get results faster. And this is something people are willing to pay for. They're willing to pay for faster results. Willing to pay for expediting things. It's the same reason why, when you go to TSA and you're going to check in, you can get clear and then you can bypass the line. And that's what people are willing to pay a premium for, is they're willing to pay for time and results. And so there are a lot of situations in people's businesses where it actually makes sense to ask for money up front because the client can actually beat the clock. And if you want to do something like this, what you should do is you should come up with an offer for your clients that makes sense to them. So example, let's say that you're a lead generation agency and you want to generate people leads, but you say, look, our team can get you this many results over the next 12 months if you pay us this much per month. But if you pay us upfront everything, we can go do a lot more in the next 30 days to actually expedite all these results and get you to use them a lot faster. And sometimes people are willing to take that because they do actually want to expedite those results. Also, if let's say you give them a discount for paying up front, then that's going to be an incentive that actually makes sense for them, right? So come up with some kind of an offer that makes sense for your clients. And then step 2 is you want to send an invoice for the upfront payment with the tool like alternative.co, so alternative.co. We use this, and basically what happens is when we get a payment for $25,000 or $40,000 up front, what will happen is we will then have the client basically break that payment down into multiple payments. So if it's, let's say, $24,000 up front, it'll be $2,000 a month. And the thing is, the client basically is underwritten by Alternative. And so let's say they take all the risk. Alternative takes the risk of the $24,000 payment. They look at the customer's business history. So this is the other big thing, is it doesn't look at the actual personal history of the payment. It looks at the business history of the payment, which is really different. And so if it's personally backed, like through your credit, that means it runs a credit score and it's checking to see if you personally have the funds. But if it's a business payment or a financing option, it looks at the business history and says, does this business actually have enough revenue to pay this back? And so this is perfect for companies that you're working with who are doing over $100,000 a year in revenue. And that's a lot of businesses. And so you can send them. It's free to use Alternative. You can sign up and use it. The third thing is you get paid instantly with minimal risk, right? Obviously, there's risk that the client could be unhappy and all sorts of stuff, but you don't have any risk of the client asking for their money back or anything like that, which obviously you want to avoid that situation anyways, but just thought I'd put that in there, is that this is something that, basically you don't have any real risk. The fourth thing is that the client gets to pay an installment, so it's easier for them. So when you're doing this, one thing that could be really cool is, let's say the interest on this installment plan for the client is 8% a year or something like that. So it's 8% a year with a little bit of interest added every month to the installment plan. Well, if you give them a 10% discount, then basically they're paying there's no difference to them. You're getting 10% discount to them, and they're basically not paying any interest because they have the discount on the services. So this is something that can be really cool when you start to think about this from a financial perspective. And again, just make sure that they have the funds to pay this. I really can't stress this enough. It's not a good idea to do something like this where they don't have the funds. That's not good business, right? So make sure they actually have the funds. They're willing to do this, that they are not feeling stressed by doing this. That's what you want to focus on when you take on these kind of deals. And how we do this at Twiz, so we charge about $25K to $45K up front for content. And again, the reason why is because basically it takes a while for this content to rank organically, like our SEO takes a long time. And there really is no way to bypass that. But if people do hundreds of articles in 1 month, then in which we're capable of doing, then the results basically can come faster because it's the same amount of time it's going to take for these articles to index. And so you can think about this for your own business. What kind of things could you offer where it normally would take X amount of time, but if you do this many up front, you can expedite the results and get them results faster. And this does require them to pay more, right? There's no easy way out of results. You can't just snap your fingers and get results. It does require payment on their side to make it happen, but there's probably a lot of scenarios where this is true. So I hope this helps. Feel free to email me at lucas@twiz.io if you guys have any questions. I'm happy to answer anything that you have. I'm just here to help the community give back, and I'm always down to have conversations with any of you guys. Thank you.